Welcome to Pemberley Farm. Today we're going to do another one of those things I really like, simple recipes. I have to tell you that the name of this is Poor Man's Cake. And it's a very simple, small little cake, 8x8 pan that is really good with like strawberries or fruit on top of it. And so we're going to make that today, and I'll tell you where I found this recipe. So I have to give them credit for it. It's not one that I came up with. In Blountstown, Florida, there is a place called Panhandle Pioneer Settlement. And on their Facebook page, they had posted this recipe. And Pioneer Settlement is really a great place. They have old log houses and old farmhouses that they've brought from all around the area and brought together to make a settlement out of it. It's really a cool place to go. If you're ever in the Florida Panhandle, go to Blountstown and check it out. So anyway, so we're going to make Poor Man's Cake today. So we start out with a cup of sugar and an egg. And we're going to just mix that together. I'll tell you that this is kind of a stiff dough, or stiff batter, I guess you'd say. It's not a dough, it's a batter. But it's stiff. It's like a pound cake. It's similar to a pound cake. And it's not overly sweet. So it would be good, even with nothing on it, just to have a cup of coffee in the afternoon with just a little bit of sweet. So then we're going to add the milk. 2/3 cup of milk. I forgot how much it was. 2/3 cup of milk. I'm going to mix that together some. Two tablespoons of melted butter, and because it's warm, I'm really going to mix that in as I pour, because I don't want it to cook the egg. Okay, so we've got the milk, the butter, and then we're going to add a teaspoon of vanilla. And except for the cost, it's not a bad thing that vanilla overflows a little bit out of this thing. We like vanilla. Okay, so we've got all that. So I'm going to look at the recipe because I've only made this once. But it was so easy and it was pretty good, I decided to do it for y'all too. Alright, so we've got our sugar, our egg, melted butter, our vanilla, our milk. So now we go with our dry ingredients. And the recipe says to mix your dry ingredients in a bowl, which is 2 cups of flour, 3 teaspoons of baking powder, and a 1/3 teaspoon of salt. But I'm going to do something a little different, okay? I'm going to measure my flour. Measure my flour. Now I'm not going to stir it in yet. What I'm going to do is add my 3 teaspoons of baking powder. And you can mix it in a separate bowl if you want to, but you know, I like simple. I like one bowl. That's a good thing. So that's what I'm doing. All right. And it says 1/3 teaspoon of salt. So I'm just going to do like a heap and quarter. How's that? Okay. Now I'm going to mix that without even going down into the liquid. It's all on top of the liquid. So I'm just kind of mixing that together before I start incorporating it into the liquid. That way it's a one bowl thing. I don't have to mess up 2 bowls. Okay? Alright, so I'm just going to mix it together. I will tell you that I added just a hair more milk than the 2/3 because, like I said, it was kind of stiff. And you see, even now it's kind of stiff. It doesn't pour like a regular cake batter, but it's not as stiff as the first one I made. So maybe I didn't mess up doing this. Alright, so we've got it mixed together. All we're going to do is pour it in the bowl. Pour it in the pan, sorry. 8x8 pan. And then we're going to put it in the oven on 350 for 30 minutes. Alrighty, it's been 30 minutes and our cake is out of the oven. And I've cut it. It's still a little warm, but we went ahead and cut it so we could show you the end product. And here you go. What I did with the strawberries, I just got fresh strawberries and cut them up and put just a little bit of sugar on them, put them back in the fridge so they make kind of syrupy, you know, and then just put it on top of the cake. And if you want to do something like Cool Whip or whipping cream or Ready Whip or something like that on top of it, that's real good. I'll tell you that the last one that we did, we put it in bowls and put a little bit of half and half over it, so along with the strawberries. So anyway, whatever you like on your poor man's cake, your very simple, easy little pound cake, then that's what you should do. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed our short little video on making this very simple cake. Be sure to like and subscribe and share. We're on Facebook as Pemberley Farm, and we have a Facebook page also called Pemberley Farm and Friends. So check us out on both places, and every once in a while we're on Instagram. But be sure to come back to YouTube and see what we're up to next. Have a blessed day from Pemberley Farm.